Okay, I hope y'all enjoyed that clip real quick. We about to get into the action though. I actually got Mike Howard in the building with me today at the Oak Cliff Sunseeker Studios here in Atlanta, Georgia. And I'd like to introduce this man as an entrepreneur, author, and been featured in Black Enterprise as well. Once again, Mike Howard. Nice to have you.
Oh, my pleasure. It's great to be here.
It's great. It's great. You know, I had the pleasure of meeting you at the Salute to Barack Obama event, and I know that I was just like, I have to get this man on the show. So here you are. Thank you for being here.
Oh, it is indeed a pleasure to be here and seeing the great things that you're doing on this wonderful Wednesday, impacting lives, making a difference. And that's what it's about, making a difference, giving people information they need to go through these difficult times. I tell people that your input determines your output and your input determines your income. And it is indeed unfortunate we spend more money at the barbershop and the beauty shop than we spend at the knowledge shop. So we've got to be about the business of educating ourselves, upgrading our relationships, learning information that will take us to the next level.
So, Mike just gave us a mouthful right there. Mike, can you tell the viewers out there who you are? Tell them who you are.
Mike Howard. Who is Mike Howard?
Yeah, who is Mike Howard?
I tell people as I travel around the country, my name is Mike Howard. I'm Atlanta born, Atlanta bred. When I die, I'll be Atlanta dead. Went to a school back then that was called Murphy High School, but the nickname was Murder High School right here in Atlanta, Georgia. But I had the opportunity to go from Murder High School to the Mission Control Center, part of the IBM team, the NASA team during the Space Shuttle Challenger explosion. And at NASA and IBM, our mission was to conquer outer space. But today I'm helping people to conquer their inner space by taking responsibility and being accountable for where they are. So when we talk about going from ordinary to extraordinary, my goal is to help people to dream big. We work with corporations, associations, individuals, helping them to dream big, to get a big dream, to get a big goal. You know, I come from Eastlake, Kirkwood, and I've had the opportunity to go from the hood to doing good from Eastlake, where I learned what it would take to become successful. So it's a process, and we don't get there overnight. We're still in the process of becoming.
Great stuff, great stuff. So, Mike, this show is about inspiration and motivation. And one of the questions I always ask on the show, what motivates you?
What motivates?
Because you're a motivational speaker. You know, you can travel around the country. You're talking to people constantly, and you have to have a special type of motivation to do that type of thing. So what motivates you to do that?
Well, it's a process, and people always ask that question, who motivates you? But it was a process, you know, coming up, growing up in Atlanta, in the hood. I had a dream, I had a vision, but I had to begin to work on myself. And it was a process. I never thought I could write a book. I never thought I would have my own radio show. I never thought I could travel around the country doing seminars and workshops. I never thought I could do that. But I began to work on me, to develop my skills, to develop my communication skills. I tell people that the only difference between where you are today and where you will be tomorrow is two things: the information that you learn and the people that you meet. You've got to be about learning good information and meeting good people. I say that we all have what I call TPP, turning point people. People that when you meet those people, because you met those people, you will never be the same. And see, there are some people who can raise your level of achievement, and there are some people who can bring you down. So in order to upgrade your life, you got to upgrade your relationships.
Very powerful. So tell me about, you said radio show that you have?
Yes, we do, and it's so amazing. You know, I tell people that I had a vision. I had a vision, and a vision is simply having a vision of the end before you begin. And I had a vision. I said, one day I'm going to have my show, and I'm working on syndication right now. But I had this dream, I had this vision, and I would sit in my room late night while most people were out at the party. I would be working on my radio show, a segment. And it's a segment called Attitude Mondays every Monday morning. But I would be home working on my segment. This is your motivational moment with Mike Howard, giving you the inspiration and motivation needed to create a positive transformation. You don't have to be great to get started, but you got to get started if you want to be great. You know, I'm working on that. I'm working on that even when I'm in a room by myself. I'm working, I'm developing that. And that's what you got to do about your dreams. You got to be working while most people are just sitting back relaxing. You've got to be learning while most people people are loafing. You've got to be reading while most people are relaxing. I was working on me. And when I was out speaking one day and I was doing an interview on a radio show, the guy said, we've got to have you. He said, you are good at what you do. I said, I've been waiting on you. I've been waiting. So, you know, and there's a quote that says, you know, when opportunity knocks, it's no time to get ready. You know, you've got to be ready when opportunity knocks at the door. The time to get ready is right now. So in order for people to make the transition now, because we hear all the information about people are losing their jobs. We hear the information that companies are downsizing. They're losing their homes. Okay, but we don't hear that even in this economy, more millionaires are being created right now than any other time in the history of this country. Now, what is it that we need to do? Number one, don't look for opportunity, create opportunity.
Exactly.
You've got to create opportunity. If you're in sales, you've got to create opportunity. If you're an entrepreneur, you've got to create opportunity. I said, okay, what can I do? My business is up because I create opportunity by creating value. And when you do that, you don't have to worry about, you know, if the economy, what the stimulus plan is going to do. Create your own personal stimulus plan. Don't worry about the general economy. Worry about your own personal economy. Work on you. Work on your mindset. Because if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change.
Hey, preach. Hey, there's a lot of preaching going on here. I'm just playing. No, so, okay, where do you see yourself 5 years from now? You know, you talked about your radio show, you're speaking currently. Where do you see yourself, Mike Howard, 5 years from now?
That's a good question. I see myself with a nationally syndicated radio show, books, New York Times bestseller, impacting lives, traveling around the country. You know, I will be on a nationally syndicated show like the Tasha Reid show, you know, and we'll say, remember when, you know, remember when. So it's a process, impacting lives, giving our youth tools that they can become successful. Because, see, I truly believe in our youth, but we've got to give them that information that will elevate them. They've got to learn that how you act will determine what you attract. How you dress determines how you are dressed. I want them to learn how to dress like prospects rather than suspects. See, we've got to give them the tools that they need in order to become successful because it's in them. But we've got to give them that exposure so that now they know that there's greatness in them.
Yes. And you talk about information. I see that you have a lot of information to share with the Tasha Reid show today.
Yes, and as a matter of fact, these are, you can check those out. Those are for you. Basically, what I did is that I wrote a book, and people have been after me, Mike, write the book, and I don't have time. But that was the best thing that I could have done, is to write a book, because now I can touch people even when I'm not there physically. I can touch those people. I can inspire those people. And the book is simple. Let me tell you what it is. It's very simple. Easy reading, but it's powerful. It's a compilation. It's not about me. It's a compilation of motivational thoughts, quotes, success strategies from some of the world's top achievers. Most of the quotes that I have, and at the end of each chapter, in chapter 2, we have motivational stories, short stories, things you didn't know about people, what they had to overcome in order to be successful. Like, for example, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., one of the greatest orators of all time, was once told, once earned a C in public speaking. The founder of Kinko's, you know, FedEx Kinko's, as a kid, he was labeled mentally retarded. Tyler Perry, homeless. Sidney Poitier, Academy Award-winning actor, was told, go back to washing dishes. So we have all of these stories. You know, the inventor of the artificial heart, Dr. Robert Jarvik, he was rejected by over 15 medical schools. So, and the reason we put the stories in the book is because we want people to realize that success is a process. You're going to get knocked down. It's a process. But what I found out is this, that the only difference in a big shot and a little shot is that a big shot is just a little shot that's just kept on shooting.
and you know, the book name is, if you didn't see it on the, when I held it up, is From Ordinary to Extraordinary. That's how I got the topic for today's show. With you being on the show, and I said to myself, why not talk about how to become from ordinary to extraordinary? So you inspired my topic today on the show, Mike.
Thank you.
To let you know that. And this book, I just telling everybody, if you need to know how to get there, Mike got some great information in there that can help you guys to go from ordinary to extraordinary. I know we shared some information with you on the Tasha Reid show today from some tips from Tasha. And it goes hand in hand with what you're talking about right now. Like you said, like we talked about, failure is not an option. Don't give up. You just gave great examples of don't give up. You know, a lot of these people were told certain things within their life, and now look at them.
Absolutely.